which is that the Republicans, including you, January 6th, et cetera, are the ones who are no longer willing to play by the rules of democracy. It seems like...
Listen, I believe passionately in democracy, and I also believe voter fraud is a real and persistent problem. And it's weird that Democrats have taken the view...
It's been studied.
Okay, so you don't think it is, but you know what? I have never once seen you or any other host ask Hillary Clinton why she said in 2016 that Donald Trump was an illegitimate president. I've never seen... You asked Democrats why they objected to the presidential certification in 2001. That was George W. Bush. In 2005, that was George W. Bush. And in 2016, that was Donald Trump. And so I don't think we should be have a double standard.
Bill Maher brought on Ted Cruz onto his show Real Time with Bill Maher, and things got pretty heated whenever it comes to the election fraud and election integrity discussion. I think it's just an absolutely ridiculous discussion to be had. I mean, there's very obvious standout states. There's states like Florida that made from 2020 and to 2024, they made election integrity a top priority. We saw as soon as their polls closed, an hour later, we knew exactly who won. We also knew a lot about the down ballot races as well from Florida. And then there's states like Arizona and California and a lot of the West Coast states where we didn't know who won the presidential election for a week. And then also, we didn't know the down ballot races for like 2 or 3 weeks. That is ridiculous. There's too much time for nefarious things to happen. And it's 2025. There's zero reason for elections to take that long to count the votes. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Everybody, every single state, every single county, every single parish, whatever, needs to make election integrity a top priority. And of course, Bill Maher doesn't think so. Let's get into this clip here where Ted Cruz absolutely roasts Bill Maher for his ridiculous takes when it comes to election integrity. Let's get into it.
We're having such a good time, but now you're going to have to answer for stunning on the causeway. Okay. So I'm just saying, because stand up, you're one of 11 senators who voted not to certify the last election. Okay. One of 11. Do you think Biden didn't win?
Look, Biden is clearly the president.
Well, that's not the question or the answer. Do you think he won? Was it a fair election?
No, those are very different questions.
Okay.
Did he win and is he the president? Yes. Was it fair? Look, there were lots of things that were unfair about the last election.
But it's been combed over more than any election ever, even by the people on your side, and they say it's not. This is from your book. You say, Democrats, whose capacity for shamelessness never ceases to astound me, were no longer willing to play by the rules of democracy. Now, I know you're funny now, but is that a joke? The Democrats don't want to play by the rules of democracy?
What was the context before and after that? I'm sorry, the one sentence I'm not remembering.
Well, I don't know, but you wrote that. The Democrats are no longer willing to play by the rules of democracy. I wanted to read it because I feel like it's the exact opposite of what I think, which is that the Republicans, including you, January 6th, et cetera, are the ones who are no longer willing to play by the rules of democracy. It seems like...
Isn't it so funny how both sides, Bill Maher's side and Ted Cruz's side, they both think the exact opposite thing about reality? Like, they both look at the same picture and they get a completely different meaning out of the picture. It's pretty wild. And that's why I'm blackpilled on a lot of this stuff. And, you know, on people saying like the future looks bright, like Patrick Bet-David says, and like, I'm just blackpilled on it. Like, no, it doesn't. The future does not look bright at all. And this is the exact reason what Bill Maher is saying right here is the exact reason why we're never going to come back together and all just work towards a brighter future once again. It's never going to happen that way, because we can both look at the exact same facts and we get the complete opposite meaning. We get the complete opposite outcome from those facts. Bill Maher is saying that the Republicans are the ones that aren't willing to follow democracy anymore, when the Democrats, the people that Bill Maher elected and Bill Maher vouched for, are the ones trying to throw their political opponents in jail for no reason other than the fact that they're political opponents. The same side that's trying to not just throw him in jail, but take him out. You know, and innocent people died because of it. You don't see Bill Maher taking any accountability or responsibility for that. You don't see Whoopi Goldberg on The View taking any responsibility. You got people like Destiny, the streamer, who are laughing at the people who died and saying that he would laugh at them again if anybody else went to a Trump rally and died. That's the left. And they have the ammo of J6. I wish J6 would have never happened, because that's the only ammo that they have. Bill Maher is going to lean on that heavily, but Ted Cruz is going to shut him down here. Let's get back to it.
Wait. It seems like your idea has switched in the Republican Party to elections only count if we win. And then we will endlessly litigate them, even though it was laughed out of court, like 60 different courts. I mean, we have the secretaries of state, even the Republican ones, everybody said Trump's own election people said it was one of the most fair, well-run elections ever. Why won't you let it go?
So, Bill, you're the one that's not letting it go. You're the one that's asking about it. But let me be clear about something.
I'm asking about your history.
Listen, I believe passionately in democracy. And I also believe voter fraud is a real and persistent problem. And it's weird that Democrats have taken the view.
It's been studied.
Okay, so you don't think it is. But you know what? I have never once seen you or any other host ask Hillary Clinton why she said in 2016 that Donald Trump was an illegitimate president. I've never seen you ask Democrats why they objected to the presidential certification in 2001. That was George W. Bush.
Okay.
In 2005, that was George W. Bush. And in 2016, that was Donald Trump. And so I don't think we should be have a double standard here.
If you enjoy content like this, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
Okay. Well, there is a double standard because there's two different things going on. One is a remonstration, a mild protestation of something. Al Gore was the head of the Senate at the time. He had to pass the baton in an election. He knew he won, and he knew he won.
And the other candidates. Are you an election denier? You just said Al Gore won that election.
Well, he did not win.
I mean,
he won,
using
I'm
your
sorry,
definition.
you're right. I meant to say he won the popular vote.
But that's not
yes,
actually
I understand.
what chooses the
I understand. But the other candidate's brother stopped the count.
Okay, that's not accurate.
The Supreme Court stopped the count. His own brother ran that election in Florida.
Ted Cruz was on such a good path right there, and Bill Maher had to stop him because he was about to absolutely cook Bill Maher and all of the woke idiots in the audience who are applauding and things like that, because the debate ends here, okay? The side that is arguing against having the most integrity inside of our elections in the United States of America, the side that's arguing against that, that is the side of evil. That is the side that's in the wrong. The side that is arguing for election integrity, we're not saying that we should only have election integrity in the elections that we lose. At least I'm not saying that, and most people that I see are not saying that. I said as soon as Donald Trump won, I said Donald Trump's top priority over this next term needs to be election integrity, because we have the White House for 4 years. We have a great mandate, right? We can make a lot of things happen. We need to make sure that elections have the maximum amount of integrity going forward, because we might not get the White House after Donald Trump is gone. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know who the Republican nominee is going to be. We don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be crazy. But Joe Biden and Kamala Harris did a great job of letting in all these illegals and making sure that, voter ID is racist and everything like this, to try and get the elections to be, to lack the integrity needed for that to be fair races, and obviously it's going to favor in their direction whenever they're the ones that's letting all the illegals in. So we need to make sure that elections are as shored up and maximize the integrity everywhere that we can. Do this, just do exactly what Florida did across the entire United States. That needs to be top priority. I'm not saying that because Donald Trump lost. I'm saying that right after he won. And the side that's arguing against that, the side that's arguing against election integrity in the United States, that's the side you need to look out for. That's the side of evil. And the debate really ends there. Why are you arguing against your elections inside of your own country? Why are you arguing against that integrity of those elections? That doesn't make any sense. Somebody explain it to me.
Brother was the governor of Florida. They counted the votes. Hold on a second. I mean, facts matter. They counted the votes 4 times in Florida. Okay. George W. Bush won all 4 times. I was part of the legal team litigating that case, so I was intimately involved in Bush versus Gore. Every time they counted the votes, Bush won.
The bigger point is that Al Gore took one for the team. He came out and said, okay, this was a really fucked up election, but this is America. The jewel in our crown is that we pass power peacefully, and I'm not going to be the first guy not to do that. Nixon let it go in 1960. That could have been a screwy election. And Hillary came out in her goddamn purple suit. So she did it. Before the sun rose, she did it. Before the cock crowed 3 times, she came out and said Trump is the president. That's what you guys will not do.
Joe Biden is the president. What do you mean we won't do it? I'm fighting him every day, and he's screwing up the country and the world. So I'm quite aware Joe Biden's the president. I wish he wasn't, but it's not lost on me who it is that caused a war in Europe with Ukraine, that gave $100 billion to Iran and the terrorists attacking Israel.
He caused the war in Ukraine?
Yes. Do you want to know how?
No, but next time. Thank you, Ted Cruz. I got it. All right. right, thank you. That was
He has to actually run away and end the show because he's about to get cooked. If this debate goes on for too long, if Ted Cruz is actually able to get out his debate, his side of the debate and get out his side of the argument, Bill Maher is going to get cooked and going to get absolutely embarrassed in front of his own live audience. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this whole Ted Cruz versus Bill Maher debate. Who do you think won? Do you think Ted Cruz did a good job? I think he did a pretty good job, but Bill Maher wouldn't really let him speak and get full sentences out. But he was about to absolutely cook him, and he did still do a pretty good job, in my opinion. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this whole Bill Maher versus Ted Cruz debate here on election integrity on Real Time with Bill Maher.